All right. Hello, my name is Ray Thompson. I am Senior Director here at Avid for Partner and Industry Marketing. And here we are at NAB 2022. It is great to be back. Certainly one of the big themes, not only at NAB that we've seen so far, but of course, coming out of the last 2 years, is enabling a distributed workforce. And so this has presented many challenges and opportunities for post-production companies. Over the last couple of years, we've kind of seen folks sort of gravitate into two main areas. One is enabling a distributed workforce to access on-prem resources, right, remotely. And then another group tended to turn to the cloud, enabling them to basically spin up resources needed for a specific project. And then when that project was over, allow them to spin that down. And of course, that was edit on demand. So what are we showing at the show and what are we talking about specifically at the show? Well, there's a bunch of new improvements and recent announcements from Avid that further enable folks to arm their distributed workforce with even more capabilities. So let's start with Nexis Edge. So Nexis Edge was announced about a month ago. And what is Nexis Edge? Nexis Edge is sort of the evolution of what used to be known as editorial management. And what it does is it allows editors to have a workflow that's very similar to what they're used to having in a brick and mortar facility. So what does that do for them? It allows them, through a new proxy format that was just added as part of Nexis Edge, to basically eliminate the need for any type of conform and any type of relinking. And so right now, many editors are out there clapping their hands. What this allows for is a workflow that allows users in Media Composer to be able to switch back and forth between that proxy, which is the new proxy as part of Edge, as well as switch to the high res. So they can toggle back and forth, and given the bandwidth that's available to them, they will be able to then have a very good experience. That's just the first part, though. The other piece is that through the browser, you have other folks who are part of the production who can also access the same media sitting on that same Nexus from anywhere, using that browser to search for and find content, certainly add metadata and augment metadata that comes in, as well as be able to create some basic sequences. So what this does is all that prep work can now be happening in parallel, all at the same time, by a number of different folks who are part of that production. And then for the editor, that sort of shortens the amount of time it takes in order for them to get started on the actual craft editing piece. This also allows folks to, again, even work when they're air gapped. So if you want, you can actually download content locally to your system. You're air gapped, you're going away for a weekend, you're someplace where there is no internet. You can still do your work and still never miss a beat, which is the other great thing about Nexus. The other cool thing about what's been added is the ability to, through your Nexus console, is to be able to not only connect as you traditionally would through a traditional LAN connection, but also through Wi-Fi. So again, that gives you just a tremendous amount of flexibility, all securely, by the way, accessed via a VPN connection. So this is an amazing sort of leap forward for Avid and certainly for workflows across the board. And again, lends itself extremely well to what is now becoming sort of the new normal, if you will, which is a distributed workforce. Folks working from home, from anywhere now. It used to be just home, right, as we come out of these lockdowns. And now it's really from anywhere. So very exciting. The other big news that was announced just before NAB was the new Media Composer release. In the new Media Composer release, probably the biggest thing that was added was SRT. SRT was added to Media Composer to enable an over-the-shoulder workflow. So now users can be on any mobile device or any type of SRT-enabled decoder or player and watch that output of Media Composer, for example, on an Apple TV device, or they can watch it on a smart TV, or they could watch it on a set-top box. The cool thing is that you can design the network that you want to service your over-the-shoulder needs, and you can now enable folks to watch this content on any device anywhere. So you can be on the go, and you can be looking at the output of Media Composer, and you can be talking to the editor and giving feedback. What this does is it enables greater collaboration, and again, allows you to sort of shorten the time to market because you're getting that feedback to the editor faster, and he or she is making those changes accordingly. The other cool thing that we're doing at the show that we showed in the Microsoft booth to further augment this over-the-shoulder story is we're showing a tech preview of Avid's app for Teams. And so what Avid did was work very closely with Microsoft to develop an app that enables SRT out of Media Composer to come into a Teams environment. What this does is this gives you that missing piece, which is the collaborative experience of having folks inside of a Teams environment all looking at the same output of Media Composer at the same time. And there's some nice controls in there too as well for users to be able to either turn that feed on or off, even turn the audio up and down, all of which allows you to collaborate as a team and basically give the feedback back to the editor, so the editor can then turn that the feedback into the new edit and the new sequence. The other cool thing you can do, of course, with all of this is you can actually have a QR code assigned to that system. So for example, let's say you're using the Haivision Play Pro app. You can actually send someone a QR code that will automatically launch that Play Pro app on that mobile device, whether that be on an Android, iOS, a phone, or an iPad. And then they can actually look at that sequence. What that does is that gives you limited access to that output for someone like, say, a client who might also want to provide some feedback on a sequence. So it's providing a tremendous amount of flexibility. It's allowing folks to not only do peer-to-peer distribution of the output of Media Composer to a single device, it's allowing you to, through something like a Haivision Hub or a Haivision Gateway, to deliver that content to multiple folks at the same time. And now the tech preview of Teams allows you to go ahead and all of you at once be in a room and collaborate at the same time. The other cool thing we're showing at the show is being able to do contribution into an edit on demand environment. And we're using Media Central Stream to do just that. If you're not familiar with Media Central Stream is Avid's agnostic software-only toolset that enables IP ingest to either an on-prem environment or, in this case, of course, a cloud environment. What's amazing about what Media Central Stream does is not only does it now write proxies and high res at the same time, it allows you to also check assets into, for example, a production asset management environment, which means that downstream editors and or folks using Media Central Cloud UX, their workflow doesn't change. They're accessing just more content. It's coming in from more places, and it's allowing them to edit a growing file. In the case of edit on demand, what we're showing is that similar workflow, IP ingest from primarily either SRT-enabled cameras or RTMP, coming into the environment, and then we're writing a file as well, and that is also a growing file that's also now editable in Media Composer without the need for a production S environment, and at the same time, you're doing so in the cloud. So this is a way for you to get content into the cloud, including live content coming directly off of cameras, or just content coming off of a camera for the purposes of being able to start editing earlier. We can write proxies in high res. You can even stream out if you need to as part of the new Media Central Stream version. So those are just some of the things that we showed at NAB, and we encourage you to go to avid.com to learn more. And we're very excited about some of these enhancements and tech previews. This is a great time to be in this industry. There's a lot of exciting things happening all at the same time, it seems. And I want to thank you all for giving us the opportunity to speak with you today. And we hope you guys have a great show. And please go to avid.com and check out more.